It's Hulk versus All Might. What's up, you guys? How's it going? It's your boy ZH Comic Art. Yes, that still was my old intro. If I have time tomorrow, I'm gonna be making an all-new intro for you guys. I'm so excited for it. It's gonna be so cool. Anyways, today I'm gonna show you guys how to draw this step by step. It's gonna be really cool. You guys can, it's gonna be kind of a time lapse, but at the same time, I'll teach you guys exactly like what I was doing, what was going through my head, the different steps, the different layers, all of that, and you guys can kind of follow along and try it yourself. I approach all my drawings pretty much the same way, so you guys will be able to do this for your drawings. It's, as you can tell, Hulk, and this is All Might over here. And also I have a question for you guys. If this were a real fight, who would win? Hulk or All Might? Let me know down in the comments below. I would love to hear your answers. Personally, I'd say Hulk just because I like the Hulk, but I don't know who you guys think will win. Yeah. Let me know down in the comments. Anyways, before we get started, if you're new to this channel, make sure you're subscribed and you have post notifications on because I post every single day. We have super cool stuff over here. And yeah, welcome to the family. Let's get started. Ooh, alright, let's get this party started. So as you can see, I started out with a really simple line drawing. When I usually draw these figures, I take a while to come up with the poses. Usually I'll have like a little sheet of paper where I sketch out the thumbnails. I'm not sure if I have it right here, but I have like sometimes binder paper, sometimes a sketchbook. I just take either my normal pencil or I take like a big thick marker and I just quickly sketch the things out. I'll have like 4 or 5 poses and then I will choose one to actually draw as my final drawing. So as you can see here, I chose to have them punch and stuff. And one tip is to make it more dynamic. You want the punching side the same as the side where the leg is extended out because it's the longest, line of motion. Yeah, so it's just a little more dynamic. You can see I did it in this picture. And I wanted their heads to be slightly tilted up. Hulk was in like a screaming face kind of thing. And then All Might was just his normal smiling. Yeah, whatever. And then right now I'm just kind of going over the lines. So once I have the basic drawing in, I'll start to slightly tighten it up a bit, but I'll just hold my pencil really loosely, get like the really loose sketch in, and then I'll be able to start going in with the basic muscle anatomy. So as you could see earlier, I kind of got in the muscles. Right here, I'm still staying slightly loose, but I think these are finished lines. So the finished lines, what I'll basically do is I'll have all the muscles and all that roughed in. Then I'll take my kneaded eraser. Do I have it right here? This kneaded eraser right here. I'll lighten up the lines and then I'll go in, and actually this might still be the roughs, so it's not the final yet. So I'm going in with like 2 or 3 layers. So I'm making sure I'm getting all the muscles in, and once I do have those muscles in, that's pretty much my blueprint, so I know where everything goes, because I don't want to just start the final drawing without knowing where all the things are supposed to go. So as you can see, I'm roughing in all the muscles, and as I'm roughing in these muscles, I'm not really worried about lighting and all that, because later I'm gonna go in with the thicker lines and then I'm gonna show where the shadow's actually going. And as you can see, I am starting to tighten up the lines a bit. Now I'm holding the pencil way closer to the tip. Okay, this is not the pencil I used in the video, but for example, I would hold it back here while I'm doing the basic sketches, and then I'll hold it like up here once I'm doing the tight lines. So right now I'm kind of going around his face, going around his neck, adding in the line weights. And these line weights really show kind of where the shadow's supposed to be. Not really at the same time, but it gives me a basic idea of what it's supposed to look like, and it just adds a lot of weight to the picture. Although you can't exactly see it in the final drawing, it will give you a really good sense of where to place your things, and it just makes it look a lot better as you're moving along. Otherwise, when you add the shadows, it looks pretty two-dimensional all the way until the end, and you don't have a good idea of what you're drawing. So here, I'm kind of skipping around. I'm going, I think I started with the head, started the line weights with the head, slowly started to move down to the neck, and then I'm jumping around on both arms. So as you can see, I'm drawing in the line weights for the muscles over here. And for the muscles, honestly, I kind of know where they are, what they're supposed to look like, but I have a few shortcuts that I can teach you in future videos where I basically draw some curved lines, a dot over here, and then another curved line. So that's kind of a hack, I guess, or a shortcut. And now, as you can see, I didn't even finish the Hulk, but I got a little bit impatient, so I'm moving on to the All Might drawing. As you can see, I'm lightening it down with my kneaded eraser, and I'm starting to go in with his face. Let's see, what am I doing here? I'm just going in with the outlines. Remember, we have the line weights, the muscle anatomy. I believe these are finished lines, just without line weight yet. And honestly, once you have all the muscles in, the finished lines shouldn't be too hard because you're pretty much tracing it. I think back in the day they used light boxes for this, but now we can use kneaded erasers, or if you're working digitally, you can just lighten up the opacity and you can work over it like that. So it's really easy these days. I think light boxes are kind of hard to use in my opinion, but I don't know, I think some people still use them, and that's totally okay. It's just whatever works for you. Anyways, I'm going in with his abs. You can see all the line weights over there. So whatever is facing away from the light, I kind of thicken up the line, and the lines that go towards the light, you can even break it up sometimes. It doesn't have to be completely drawn in, because if you draw in every single line, it starts to look a little flat. So when it goes up to the light, you can kind of thin it out or even break it up so it doesn't connect. But if the line is going away from the light, make sure you do not break it up, otherwise that will give you some inconsistent lighting. Let's see, what am I doing right now? I am going in with the hands. Sorry if you guys can't see it. I think I wasn't aware of that, but I'm just tightening up the lines over there, getting the muscles in. And okay, one tip for when you're drawing muscles is that a muscle, I think Jim Lee said it before, and I've heard multiple people say it, but muscles at the end of the day, they're just like football shapes. They're interconnecting football shapes, and just shade it like that. I think I figured out how to shade muscles by thinking of it that way, and I can show you guys in another video, and I think it will really help. Now I'm going into his leg. I'm not sure when I'm going to go back to the Hulk yet, but I'm kind of playing around with the anatomy. I don't think the anatomy is completely accurate here. I made a little bit of it up, but it looks decent enough. Yeah. For comics, I think you don't need to be perfect with anatomy. You just need something that you think looks cool, that the other people think looks cool too, and that's somewhat believable. You don't want a completely unbelievable or unrealistic muscle drawing, because then it just looks kind of fake, unless you're going for like a really cartoonish style. But for me, obviously, I have like a sense of realistic muscles, but at the same time you can tell that nobody has those in real life. So let's see, what am I doing now? Okay, I'm adding in the other leg that's extending towards the back. For this leg, the inner leg anatomy was a little bit tricky, so I had to guess a lot of those. And since I was filming from my phone, I didn't have reference, so I was just kind of making it up as I went. And honestly, you can do that, but it's still better if you know your anatomy well. And I can honestly teach you guys tricks to fake muscles, because you're not always gonna know where every single muscle is, what it looks like, because it's always different. But there's like, how do I say this? Basic rules for muscles where you can kind of make it look right even though they're not there and they don't actually exist. So I finally decided to go back and finish up the Hulk legs. The Hulk, the only difference from him and All Might, in my opinion, were the pants. So I was keeping that in mind. I didn't want to do the pants yet because the folds are a little bit hard. I'm kind of going in with the feet. The feet actually took a while because, as you know, a lot of comic artists hate to draw feet, including me, but I still practice it anyways because I think it's a good skill to have. And okay, so the other leg's in. I'm going in a little more with the hands now. Oh, finally, we are getting to the fun part here. Shading muscles. I'm going in, I'm getting some shadow on the chest. And the chest, you can think of it as, have you ever went to those gyms and you had those like half balls with a thing at the bottom? You know what I mean? Yeah, you kind of light it like that, except for there are little ridges on it. So don't think of it as a completely flat shape, think of it as like kind of a half dome kind of thing. Yeah. So you kind of shade it like that, and there are little striations on there if you have a really buff chest. Because if you look at any bodybuilder, you'll realize they have all those like little striations, and that's pretty much what Hulk has. And I'm going in with the biceps now, the arms. Oh, I forgot to mention that the light source is directly from above to create kind of a more dramatic lighting. I'm actually not sure why I didn't shade the face first. Usually I shade the face. Oh, okay, I'm going in with the face now. So the face was actually kind of tricky since it was directly from above and slightly at an angle, so I just kind of had to play around with that. Usually for muscles, I think of it as like a whole shape before I shade it, but sometimes if I'm unsure, I'll go like a tiny bit at a time and then build it up from there. So as you can see, I'm going with the hands, and the hands I have a cool tip because since you usually hold your fist like this, one finger is higher out than the other, you can see it right there. These I'll leave dark, and I'll have one where I leave with no shadow because that makes it look like it's popping out. You can kind of see it over here. See how these are all dark, this one's light? Yeah. So that's just a little trick you can use. It's not the most accurate, but it gives you a sense of, I don't know, like a dynamic fist. I've seen Jim Lee do it a lot. I studied his work for a while, and I kind of learned from him. So I'm going in with the legs now, shading. The bottom of the leg is going to be mostly dark because all the shadow is directly from above. I think I was kind of scared to go into the pants of Hulk because of all the detail and ridges, so I didn't go in there yet. Right now I'm just shading in the feet a little bit. Now here I go with the lower leg. The lower leg, I was kind of guessing the muscles a bit, so as you can see, it's lower than the other ones. I kind of go back and forth, and it's guessing a bit, but it works. And at this point, I'm getting pretty close to done with the Hulk, but we're still gonna need a crosshatch later. So I keep going wherever the thing turns away from the light. Oh, and as you can see over here, one finger is lit again and the others are dark. So you guys can try that with your art. Tell me how it goes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll look cool. Now we're going on to All Might. And as you can tell, I didn't finish Hulk yet. I still had to shade his hair, his pants, but I decided to avoid that anyways. Yeah, we're gonna go after we're done with this All Might drawing. Let's see. Okay, so I'm kind of roughing in his costume right now. Usually if I have a character with a costume, I'll rough it in before I actually start shading and all that. Some people, they shade the entire thing then add in the costume, but for me, I like to add a ton of detail in the costume, and it doesn't really work well after I shade it. So now that I got the costume roughed in, I'm actually going in with the shadows. The shadows are actually pretty similar to Hulk because they're in a similar position and the lighting is just from right above. Also, my throat is kind of hurting from talking for 12.5 minutes straight, but we are almost done with the time lapse. I think after the shading, we'll just have the cross-hatching left. So I'm just playing around with the shadows. The shadows, you don't always have to follow like a certain pattern. You can kind of guess it a bit, you can change it up because it doesn't have to be the same every single time. Right now I'm going in with the legs, adding in lots and lots of shadow, and yeah, I should be done with All Might soon. Let's see. Yeah, and in this case, remember how I said before I usually rough in the costumes, then I go in with the shadows? In this case, I forgot he had like part of his costume on his legs. So as you can see, the shadow's already there. And one thing is, if the costume is a different shade, you're not gonna want to shade it the same way. You know what I mean? So if it's lighter, there's gonna be less shadow on it. If it's darker, there's gonna be more shadow on it. Oh, okay, so finally I did his hair. His hair, usually I just, I make a hot spot, which is like one streak going over, and then I kind of just squiggle in the rest. And then I do a few like flying hairs. So now's the fun part. I'm actually going in and cross-hatching the whole thing. As you can see, it's really hard to film while cross-hatching because I turn the paper so much. Usually when I cross-hatch, I'll use this pencil as an example. I don't go this way, I don't go this way. Usually I either go like that or like this. So I have one range of motion for the cross-hatching that I'm super comfortable with. And yeah, there we go. That is the final drawing. I hope you guys liked it, and I hope my talk helped you guys a little bit. Thanks so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, Hulk or All Might. Let me know down in the comments if you like this video. Make sure you smash the like button. Let's try to get this video to 1,000 likes. Yeah, let's just try it, you guys. 1,000 likes. And this video shout out goes to Vigo Gamer. If you want to win a shout out too, all you have to do is be part of the notification squad. Just subscribe, turn on post notifications, and let me know down in the comments when you're done. Anyways, make sure you come back tomorrow for more because I'm posting every single day. Yeah, it's a daily grind. I think I've posted 37 videos in a row. Let's keep it up, fam. Alright, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.